Ohio State head coach Ryan Day had a very important announcement today.
Who's the starting quarterback? We're doing 2 questions. Yeah. So after reviewing the film, we've decided that Kyle's going to be the starter, and that make that distinction. We still plan on playing Devin, but we feel like Kyle has really stepped up to and deserves to be the starter.
There it is. Ryan Day has said that Kyle McCord is the starting quarterback for the Ohio State Buckeyes going into week 3. They got the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Get to that here in just a minute, but this kind of went the way that I thought it was going to go, and really the way that you probably thought it was going to go. It felt like it was Kyle McCord's job to lose as soon as C.J. Stroud declared for the NFL draft, and that is the way it has gone. So what does this mean for Ohio State? It means that everybody can rally behind McCord in a very real way if they hadn't already. And it also means that we finally get to see the McCord to Martian connection kind of blossom into the thing that I think it can be. I'm a big fan of quarterbacks and wide receivers getting to play together no matter where they are. I'm thinking about Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow at LSU and now with the Cincinnati Bengals. I'm also thinking about Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Waddle down at Miami playing for the Dolphins. And of course, we can go back to McCord and Marvin Harrison Jr., who played together at St. Joe's Prep in Philly and are now going to play as starters at The Ohio State University. Really cool for this relationship to continue to grow. And it looked good last week against Youngstown State. You'll know that Marvin Harrison Jr. had 7 receptions for 160 yards with 2 tutties in the first half. Now, I understand that everybody wants to say this time of year that ain't nobody played nobody, which is true for most, but you still played somebody, because everybody works as hard as you do during the offseason to prepare football games. And it's about, are you talented enough to go out there and get W's? So what did this mean for McCord versus Brown in the future? Well, I kind of think that Ryan Day was always showing his hand, right? It wasn't really the battle that we thought it was going to be. And when we thought, what we thought he meant when he said that you were going to see both quarterbacks is that both guys are probably going to start the game against Indiana and the game against Youngstown State. And maybe he has a guy by Western Kentucky. But the way this actually went, McCord took the majority of snaps. He had 89 snaps to Devin Brown's 39, and he played 61 and 67 against Indiana. Again, it's ridiculous in that he attempted 3 times as many passes as Devin Brown. So whatever it is that Ryan Day was looking for out of Devin Brown, I hope he got to show it in practice, because we didn't get to see it in the game. Again, it's nice to have that guy on your depth chart, and certainly he's going to be a great option for them. And I think Ryan Day is telling us exactly what he wants to happen by saying we're going to get Devin Brown some opportunities to play later in the year. I think they will, because one of the things that Day has been adamant about basically since Justin Fields went off to the NFL is his backups didn't really get enough opportunities to run the offense. Matter of fact, when they were going into the quarterback derby, when C.J. Stroud was up against Jack Miller for the job, he was kind of remiss that he did not get those guys opportunities to throw the football during the season. And then he went about trying to correct that almost immediately. So C.J. Stroud won the job, but you saw Kyle McCord start against Akron last year, get meaningful snaps going into this year as a guy who started football games. I think we could see something like that down the road, but I don't know that it's going to be the way it was for Kyle McCord last year, because, well, your non-conference part of the schedule is about over, and you got Notre Dame in a couple of weeks, which is the other reason why you need to get the starting quarterback position nailed down. But before Ohio State gets to Notre Dame in what should be a top 10 showdown, Western Kentucky travels to the Shoe, and the Hilltoppers ain't no easy win. Now, I know it is a group of 5 team, and I know that you don't believe, and neither do I, that Western Kentucky should be talented enough to really challenge Ohio State. As we'll talk about a little bit later, ask Austin Peay what they think about challenging the University of Tennessee. So Western Kentucky also fields what I think is one of the great quarterbacks in the sport that nobody talks about in Austin Reed, who also threw for an FBS best 4,746 yards last year. They will move the ball. They will score points. They put up 45 in a win last week, and they put up 50 last week against South Florida, and they put up 52 against Houston Christian in their opener the week before. So you're going to see Jim Knowles' defense actually have to show up in a meaningful way, and we're probably going to get a good read on that secondary, because we know the Hilltoppers are going to try to take the top off the defense early and often, and they're never going to actually be out of the game as long as the offense is on the field. So expect to see a lot of running the football from Ohio State and asking Kyle McCord to take advantage of those one-on-one opportunities when they got Marvin Harrison Jr. out there for those one-on-ones, or even Emeka Egbuka even Julian Fleming. I keep going down the list. Cade Stover's turning out to be an outstanding pass catching option too. Thank you for watching the #1 college football show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video so that you don't miss any of the best college football coverage in America.